Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, a deadly daycare crash. Big news on a popular weight loss medication and some make-a-wish magic from our friend Luke Bryan. After school tragedy. At least 4 young students killed when a car drove through a daycare. This morning, what we know about the driver and the victims, girls ages 4 to 18.
More than 50 million Americans in the storm zone.
Look at that tornado.
After 2 tornadoes, golf ball-sized hail in Oklahoma.
All right, we're in it.
Ginger tracking the threat, stretching across at least 14 states from Texas to New York, plus flash floods.
Aircraft overboard. A $70 million U.S. fighter jet falling off an aircraft carrier into the Red Sea. 2 sailors escaping moments before it went over. The Navy investigating.
President Trump's first 100 days, from overhauling the federal government to his immigration crackdown and trade war, the reaction to the start of his second term.
Massive inferno. 100 firefighters battle a large fire in London. Thick black smoke seen across parts of that city.
Firing back. Authorities responding to allegations. Police who took Luigi Mangione into custody botched the arrest of the suspect in the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Draft day prank calls. The investigation, as we learned Shadur Sanders wasn't the only player to get one.
Exclusive. A possible weight loss drug game changer. A big change to the way people can get one of the popular medications. How it could help save you money.
We clapping.
Unstoppable sweep. The Cavaliers crushing the competition as playoff Jimmy pushes Houston to the brink.
The Golden State Warriors have held on.
Plus, don't sleep on some make-a-wish magic.
What's up?
And speaking of surprise, Queen Bee stunning her fans overnight, kicking off her tour with her daughters, flying us into Tuesday.
Live from Times Square, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
It is Tuesday. Many have been waiting for Beyonce's tour. It was worth the wait. We had a lot of news to get to as well this morning, including how to recession-proof your life. Some young women are sharing the ways they're hacking their budgets to save thousands of dollars.
Also ahead, more on the ripple effects of the president's trade war as he marks the first 100 days of his second term.
First, the daycare tragedy in Illinois. A car slammed into an after-school center, killing at least 4 people, ranging in age from 4 to 18. Several others injured. Alex Perez is on the scene in Chatham, Illinois. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, George. There's still a lot of unanswered questions here. Now, I want you to take a look behind me here, and as we get a little closer, you can see all of that damage created after that car plowed right into that building. 1 second, everybody was fine. The next, people were running for their lives.
Multiple casualties, Chatham. I need EMS 1018. We're probably going to need additional from Springfield.
This morning, a tight-knit community rocked by tragedy after a car drove through a daycare, leaving at least 4 people dead.
Send as many ambulances as you can get out here.
The victims, girls, ranging in age from 4 to 18.
There are no words. It was a horrible travesty today, and our community is hurting badly.
Police say the suspect drove a vehicle through the Why Not After School camp in Chatham, Illinois, Monday afternoon.
Kill some kids. Those are kids.
Oh, no. Witnesses looking on in horror, the carnage laid bare. According to authorities, 1 person was killed inside after the vehicle crashed into the building. 3 others were killed outside. Several others were taken to local hospitals. 1 was medevaced. The driver was not injured. Governor J.B. Pritzker saying in a statement, our community lost a group of bright and innocent young people with their whole lives ahead of them. Parents said goodbye to their kids this morning, not knowing it would be the last time.
And authorities say that driver is being evaluated and they're awaiting the results of toxicology reports. But at this point, it does not appear this was a targeted attack. Robin?
Oh, horrible. All right, Alex, our thanks to you. Now, the severe weather threat that is on the move this morning after dozens of reports of large hail and powerful wind gusts, as well as 2 reported tornadoes. Ginger is in Minneapolis, tracking it all for us. Good morning, Ginger.
Yes, Robin, good morning. As I was flying into the Twin Cities, I was so happy to see it was a thick deck of clouds that we came through. That usually tamps down some of the instability because it was stable for much of the atmosphere. So we headed south, and that's where some of the damage happened. You can see this is Faribault, Minnesota, where that barn and on that farm, they had some damage from a likely tornado that was embedded in this really strong line of severe storms. There was about 100 severe storm reports all the way back to Oklahoma, where you had some big golf ball size hail falling, some flash flooding too. That's how they're waking up. Oklahoma City right now, severe thunderstorms and a flash flood warning. I-35, I-40 going to be really tough through that state through this morning. So all the way to Joplin, back to Lawton. I want to show you too a look at what's going to happen today, because this cold front is going to be powerful again with damaging wind possible. Syracuse, Buffalo, Columbus, Ohio, almost the entire state of Ohio, southern Indiana, and Michael, back to Texas and Oklahoma, where they've got large hail and more flash flooding.
All right, Ginger, thank you for that. And we're going to turn now to a military accident under investigation this morning. A U.S. Navy fighter jet rolled off an aircraft carrier and into the ocean, putting crew members at risk. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, had the latest for us. Good morning, Rachel.
Michael, good morning to you. And this really is a stunning mishap. A $70 million Navy fighter jet going overboard into the Red Sea. The crew escaping with just moments to spare.
This morning, new questions about how a $70 million U.S. fighter jet fell off an aircraft carrier in the Red Sea. The Navy says an F-18 fighter jet was being towed out of a hangar on the USS Truman. Two sailors escaping just moments before the plane and the towing vehicle crashed overboard, sinking to the bottom of the ocean.
The Navy's going to want to get that airplane back because it has very sophisticated and sensitive electronics on it, so they don't want anybody like the Russians or the Chinese to pull that airplane up off the bottom of the ocean. So they will send a salvage ship out there with deep sea diving capability that will grapple on to what's left of the airplane and bring it back up to the surface.
The Navy says it's investigating the cause of the accident on board the Truman. It's unclear what caused the incident, but sources say an initial report suggests the carrier made a sudden turn, possibly due to Houthi fire. The carrier has come under fire in recent months from Houthi rebels while on a mission to protect commercial vehicles in the Red Sea.
It's very rare, but when you're operating at sea, mistakes happen. You have weather, you have pitching decks.
This just the latest incident involving U.S. carriers. This video from a naval investigation back in 2022 shows the moment an F-35 crashed upon landing on the USS Carl Vinson. A fireball erupting, the jet sliding off the carrier and into the South China Sea.
So again, the crew was able to jump out in time. Only one minor injury reported. And while the Navy may want to get that fighter jet back, officials say the chances of recovering it could be low, given that it is a conflict area, George.
Okay, Rachel, thanks. We're going to get the latest now on President Trump, marking the first 100 days of his second term. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce tracking the Trump presidency and how the public is responding. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, over the last 100 days, President Trump has moved at a frenetic pace to overhaul the federal government, enact his agenda through a barrage of executive orders, and test the limits of presidential power. And today, as he touts his accomplishments, he's also facing new questions about how Americans are perceiving his work so far. This morning, President Trump marking the first 100 days of his second term, a 15-week sprint aimed at overhauling the federal government and showing his supporters he's delivering, aggressively enforcing his immigration policy, an issue the administration is eager to keep in the spotlight. The president posting these pictures online, signing 3 more executive orders Monday, targeting sanctuary cities and those who the White House says oppose the administration's immigration crackdown. It was one of the key issues that propelled Trump to the White House. Today, 46% of Americans approve of his immigration policies, according to our latest ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll. But 48% say his actions deporting undocumented migrants have gone too far. The White House this morning defending their handling of mass deportations after 3 children ages 2, 4, and 7 who are U.S. citizens were deported to Honduras along with their mothers following routine ICE checks. The ACLU says the 4-year-old suffers from a rare form of cancer and claims the parents were not given a choice, that they did not have an opportunity to coordinate with caregivers or legal representatives. But the president's board czar Tom Homan insists the parents were given a choice.
What we did is remove children with their mothers who requested the children depart with them. This was a parental decision, parenting 101. Having a U.S. citizen child does not make you immune from our laws.
And on the issue that was top of mind for voters, the economy. Voters in November backing Trump's promises to boost the economy and lower prices.
We will end inflation and we will make America affordable again.
73% now say the economy is in bad shape, and 53% saying it's gotten worse since he took office. 72% say it's very or somewhat likely Trump's economic policies will cause a recession. Fears fueled by the president's trade war, something that has unsettled even some of his staunchest allies.
If we see very high tariffs forever, then we do risk a recession. And listen, at the end of the day, tariffs are taxes, and I don't support higher taxes.
And we've learned the president today will announce that he's providing automakers some relief from his staggering tariffs. The move means that automakers who are paying Trump's tariffs won't also be charged other taxes on things like aluminum and steel. It's a sign that the president, even as he marks this milestone, is well aware that his trade war is taking a toll. George.
And Mary, the Constitution prohibits Trump from running for a third term, but we did ask about it in our poll.
Yeah, we did. And George, look, this is an idea that the president continues to toy with, even though, as you note, the Constitution prohibits him from serving a third term. Our latest poll shows that most Americans, 62%, take Trump at his word and think that he is serious about serving a third term. But that doesn't mean that most Americans back the idea. Our polling shows 80% oppose Trump serving another term, while 18% support it.
So 80% support for the Constitution there. Okay, Mary, thanks very much. President Trump sits down with Terry Moran for an exclusive interview as he marks his first 100 days in office. You can see it tonight at 8, 7 Central, right here on ABC. Right?
All right, George. Now to the new Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, and the Liberal Party won the election. Carney saying overnight, quote, President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us, end of quote. And that will never happen, he said. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is in Vancouver for us. Good morning, Matt.
Robin, good morning. Canadians here in Vancouver and across Canada waking up to a political turnaround no less stunning than that of President Trump. Just a few months ago, the Liberal Party here was trailing in the polls by 24 points. Its leader, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister, resigned in disgrace, had a new leader named Mark Carney that not that many people had heard of. Enter President Trump, who suddenly says, let's make Canada the 51st state, and of course pressing that trade war against Canada. And all of a sudden, the Conservative Party, which had been leading the polls for years, starts to plummet in the polls. Mark Carney, who is the former head of the Central Bank of Canada, says, I'm going to make my stump speech all about Canada versus Trump. And almost everywhere he went, you heard something to the tune of Trump is trying to break Canada so that he can own Canada, and we're not going to let that happen. And basically, that worked. Now comes the hard part of trying to work with the Trump White House and also trying to avert a recession here in Canada. Michael.
Yeah, the work is just beginning there, Matt. Thank you so much for that. Now to the travel chaos at a major U.S. airport. An equipment outage resulted in flight delays and cancellation into and out of Newark Airport in New Jersey. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is there with the latest. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Michael, good morning. Yeah, this was a major problem overnight. It has been fixed, but these ripple effects may still be felt throughout the day today. Now, take a look at what happened here, because there was what they call an equipment outage here at Newark, which, of course, is one of the busiest airports in the country. They had to essentially close the airport for a time. Flights were redirecting to other airports. Air traffic controllers and pilots were heard on ATC saying that certain radars and frequencies weren't working. About 150 flights were canceled, about a third of all flights delayed. Then, to top it all off, in addition to that equipment outage, they actually lost several air traffic controllers yesterday who, of course, handle the airspace here, and they had a severe staffing shortage, and it just wasn't clear why. Now, I got to tell you, cancellations are down dramatically today, but we are learning this morning that they still may have a staffing shortage throughout the day today, so we're going to have to watch that because we may have some issues later on, George.
Okay, Gio, thanks. There was also a major power outage in Europe yesterday. Knocked out electricity in Spain, Portugal, and parts of France, disrupting the lives of millions. They're trying to restore it now. Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell has the story. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, George. That's right. We're hearing that power is starting to be restored to all of those countries, people heading back to work, back to school. But it's been a period of unprecedented blackouts, shutdowns, and major chaos.
Overnight, emergency workers rushing to return power to millions after a massive outage hit Spain, Portugal, and parts of southern France. Overnight, cheers in Madrid. Power finally returning after a day of disruption. Spain declaring a national emergency. The sudden outage bringing traffic to a standstill. Trains halted on their tracks, 35,000 commuters needing to be evacuated. First responders racing to rescue people trapped in elevators. Some seen carrying this woman up to a 6th-floor apartment in her wheelchair. Airports in both Spain and Portugal filled with long lines as travellers were stranded for hours, like these passengers from Oregon.
You could see a lot of things got backed up all of a sudden when they must have canceled a bunch of flights at one time.
The outage causing the Madrid Open tennis tournament to be suspended. US star Coco Gauff caught off mid-sentence when the power went out, posting this video showing a darkened locker room.
All it is just the emergency light right here. But over here, no power where the showers are.
So now the investigation begins into what caused this unprecedented crash. Good news, though, for tennis fans. The Madrid Open is going to be back on and Coco Gauff back on court. Guys.
That is good news. All right, Ian, our thanks to you. Now the NBA playoffs. One game overnight coming down to the last second. The other one, not so much. Will Reed,
not at all. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you. The legend of playoff Jimmy grows. Jimmy Butler has been a star in the NBA for years, and he overcompensates for any deficit in skill with a surplus of will. He joined the Warriors around the trade deadline, and in Game 2 of the playoffs against Houston, Butler suffered a nasty pelvic and gluteal muscle injury. Coach Steve Kerr said if it were the regular season, guys, he'd probably be out a couple of weeks. But here he was in Game 4, and the final big moment of the game here. The Warriors are up by 1. The Rockets need a bucket, and they miss. And Butler muscles the rebound and then drains the free throws at the other end. Those were his 13th and 14th points of the fourth quarter. He had 27 for the game. The Warriors win by 3, and they are up 3-1 in the series. Now, as Robin alluded to, on the other end of the spectrum of compelling playoff games, there was the 1 seed in the East, Cleveland, dispatching 8 seed Miami by 55 points. That's the largest margin of victory in a closeout game in NBA playoff history, George. The most lopsided playoff series by total points ever. Cleveland sweeps. Tonight we've got 3 more.
I could have guessed that without knowing.
You sure could have, yeah.
I was sure hoping it is still more than one highlight.
That's right.
That was enough. Don't do that.
Guys, we have 3 more closeout games tonight. Celtics, Knicks, Pacers, they're all up 3-1 in their series. And in what's been the most electric of all the series, with all its wild finishes, Nuggets, Clippers, Game 5, they're tied at 2.
There'll be some great games tonight.
Sure will.
Oh, okay, well, thank you.
Will. Coming up, Aaron Patricia has latest on Luigi Mangione. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, George. You'll remember he was arrested in Pennsylvania at a McDonald's. Luigi Mangione has been challenging his arrest, calling it illegal. Well, now the authorities are fighting back. We'll have the details coming up.
All right, Aaron, thank you. And more drama from the NFL draft. Shedeur Sanders wasn't the only player to get a prank call. What we're learning about those calls and the NFL investigation.
And the new headline about a popular weight loss medication, how it could become accessible to everybody and more affordable as well. Coming up, Queen Bee is back. The Cowboy Carter kicking off last night with a surprise appearance. The details coming up in our play of the day. Get your cowboy boots out.
Look at you. You are all so adorable. Just think, I send you down there to kill each other, and instead you make nice and you form a team. Who is this old Santa?
I'm Alexei Shostakov, the Red Guardian.
What?
Looks so good. Welcome back to GMA. That's a look at the new Marvel movie, Thunderbolts. The stars will be live in Times Square this week, including the great Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who we just saw there. Yeah, so funny, so good. You don't want to miss that. And we have much more on the blockbuster premiere that's coming up in Pop News with Lara.
First new at 7:30, including the massive fire in central London at an electrical substation is being battled by 100 firefighters. The thick black smoke was seen across parts of the city. Fire now is under control. Plus, take a look at this new video showing the moment a recreational boat slammed into a Florida ferry. It killed 1 person, left 10 others injured. Officials say tests show the driver of the boat was not intoxicated at the time of the crash, but he could face charges for leaving the scene.
Also, 7,200 cases of apple juice being recalled in 28 states due to possible toxic substance contamination. Martinelli's voluntarily recalling the 10-ounce apple juice glass bottles. The bottles may contain a colorless toxin growing on some fruits. The FDA says it could cause temporary illness such as nausea. And big news for the 688, the only black all-female unit to serve in Europe during World War II. They will be presented with the Congressional Gold Medal today at a ceremony in Emancipation Hall at the Capitol Visitor Center. And the unit recently made headlines. A Tyler Perry directed Netflix original.
Which is great.
Yes, over 50 million streams in the first month alone that it was available.
Really
so a lot of folks know the story.
Fitting tribute today. We're going to turn now to the Luigi Mangione murder trial. Authorities responding to defense allegations that police botched Mangione's arrest in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has that story. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. The authorities in Pennsylvania are now defending their actions after Luigi Mangione said his arrest for a murder in New York was illegal. This morning, Pennsylvania prosecutors deny police botched the arrest of Luigi Mangione, who was spotted at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, 5 days after the assassination-style killing of United Healthcare Chief Executive Brian Thompson on a Midtown Manhattan street. Mangione has said Altoona police provided a specious and unreasonable reason to approach him and failed to read him his rights. But prosecutors say police at all times acted within the authority bestowed by law. They said officers approached because the McDonald's manager called 911 and asked them to intervene after customers said the person seated in the restaurant looks like the CEO shooter from New York. The officers wore body cameras that police said captured Mangione handing over a forged driver's license with a false name. It was the same ID investigators said Mangione used to check into a hostel where he stayed prior to the murder. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all charges he faces, including a federal murder charge that could get him the death penalty.
Sorry, no comments. Thank you.
His lawyers said nothing outside court on Friday, where Mangione appeared in shackles and beige jail garb, a different look from the street clothes he wore at an earlier court date. Prosecutors have said they would seek the death penalty in part because Mangione wanted to provoke broad-based resistance to the healthcare industry when he allegedly shot and killed Thompson as the CEO walked to an investor conference. The defense accused prosecutors of listening in to one of Mangione's jailhouse phone calls with his lawyers. Prosecutors called it an inadvertent occurrence that was immediately flagged, but the judge has demanded a full explanation by the end of this week. We're not scheduled to see Mangione in court again until June. His online legal defense fund has now raised $960,000, guys, and his legal team says he's receiving 15 letters a day, still opening the ones people sent him back in December, guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Aaron. Now to the investigation into the prank calls made to NFL prospects during this year's draft. Turns out it wasn't just Shedeur Sanders. The list of players who received calls, well, it keeps growing. And Larry, you have that list for us?
Yeah, we do indeed. So when you are going to be drafted, each player gives the NFL their number with the understanding that it will be used only by representatives for the teams. But as we've seen in this year's draft, people outside of the NFL did gain access, and the ramifications are still being felt. This morning, the NFL investigating a series of prank calls made to college football stars waiting to hear their names called in the NFL draft.
The Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham.
Alan Graham, the father of Michigan player Mason Graham, who was drafted in the first round by the Cleveland Browns, says his son was also the victim of a prank call. He told the Detroit Free Press that someone made a TikTok while crank calling Mason, showing his number on the video. His phone was getting called nonstop. It's the same thing that happened to Colorado QB Shedeur Sanders, who had to wait until the 5th round of the draft to be picked by the Cleveland Browns. He received this prank call during the 2nd round from a college student pretending to be the GM of the New Orleans Saints.
I'm gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
The Atlanta Falcons later posting an apology to the Sanders family, announcing that the person behind the prank was 21-year-old Jax Ulbrich, the son of Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
The team adding that Jax, seen here with a friend making the call, obtained Shedeur Sanders' number off of an open iPad while visiting his parents' home. Jax later posting a message to Shedeur on his Instagram, writing, "I am so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish."
The NFL could have thought more about disseminating a popular player's number, but the truth is somehow everybody needs a way to reach that player on draft day. Oftentimes it can be through an agent. In this particular case, his number was widely distributed. It got into the hands of people that it didn't belong with, and it wound up with one of the more unfortunate incidents that we've seen in recent draft memory.
The NFL also investigating a third prank call from this year's draft, made to Penn State tight end Tyler Warren. Warren was picked 14th overall by the Indianapolis Colts, but he received a fake call that he was being drafted by the New York Jets, who were picking 7th in the draft. Last year, Iowa's Cooper DeJean received this prank call during the first round.
It's a prank. It's a prank.
He was later drafted in the second round by the Philadelphia Eagles.
This is about young college men on the brink of realizing their NFL dreams, getting calls from other college students, mocking them and joking around with them at a time when there's nothing funny about it.
Nothing funny about it. 6th round pick Chase Lunt from UConn. He says he was also pranked before being picked by the Bills. So this is a pervasive issue. The NFL says they are investigating what happened and trying to figure out how to ensure this doesn't happen again.
It's just mean.
It is.
Yeah. It's just mean.
Yeah. You know what it's like to be waiting for that call.
Yeah, you wait for that call, you're stressed, and then you get it. My problem was back then we didn't have call waiting or cell phones. So your phone would ring, you pick it up, be one of your buddies. I can't believe they picked that guy in front of you. Get off the phone. Maybe they're trying to call me now. Times have changed, everybody. Times have changed. All right, we're going to switch it up.
It worked out just fine for you.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out pretty good. Thank you, New York Giants. Yeah. Now, with the GMA Health Alert, a game changer for popular weight loss medications. The maker of Wegovy is making the medication available to several telehealth companies and also plans to make it more affordable for those paying out of pocket. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, is here with more. Good morning again, Dr. Narula. Tell us about this announcement and what it could mean for people who are taking these medications.
Well, Michael, we've seen such a boom in both the telehealth industry and GLPs, and now these worlds are colliding and coming together. And so, we know that the telehealth companies have really been selling for the last several years these compounded or off-brand versions of many of these GLP drugs. But the FDA announced, we actually talked about it here a few months ago, that will no longer be allowed. So they have had to pivot. And so where we saw before a little bit of a battle between the original drug makers of some of these drugs and the telehealth companies, now we are starting to see them working together. So the announcement coming this morning that Novo Nordisk, which makes Wegovy, is going to be collaborating with 3 different telehealth companies to provide Wegovy ClickPens, all doses delivered to you with the use of the telehealth platform for $4.99 as the cost. That's Wegovy's cost. And then obviously you add on to that the cost of becoming part of one of these telehealth services. So that's usually about an additional $100. So essentially for almost $600, you're getting access to the drug, access to 24/7 support with some sort of clinician, and online support around nutrition. Clearly this is meant to streamline the process to make these drugs more accessible, available, affordable for people, and really kind of a one-stop shop.
There are some direct-to-consumer programs already in place, though, right?
Interesting, yes. So this was another pivot from some of these drug companies. And in the last few months, we've seen them offering direct-to-consumer. So, for example, George, you can get a prescription for Wegovy, go onto their website, and NovoCare Pharmacy there will give you a supply of these ClickPens, all the doses for $4.99, delivered to your house with, again, an online support program. Eli Lilly, the maker of Zepbound, is also offering a similar option. And that, with that drug company, you can actually go onto their site without a prescription, get connected to a third-party telehealth service, and get the drug. Now, in that case, it's not the ClickPen version, it's a vial and syringe, which is a little bit harder for some people. The cost is around the same, again, about $4.99 for these options.
You, of course, are a practicing cardiologist, and you have some patients who are managing their weight through these types of medications. So what are you recommending? What are you saying? What do you think about it?
You know, Robin, this is so interesting because obviously there's always two sides to these issues, right? So we worry about some of the risks. You don't have a relationship with a provider who knows your whole history. How do you titrate the drug and make sure that if there's side effects, you're dealing with them? If somebody's going to have surgery or become pregnant, is someone telling them they need to come off the drug, right? And then we worry about that holistic approach, and it's not in your electronic medical record if you're getting it from some outside source. So there are definitely risks and concerns with using the telehealth platform. clearly there's benefits. You get access and affordability, and something where it's a little more discreet. You know, we've seen these companies really market around things like erectile dysfunction, hair loss, and so for a lot of people, obesity is a similar thing. They want to be more discreet about.
It's changing the conversation about weight loss and how people, it's not just about willpower when people say, oh, just, no, I mean, there is a true addiction to food.
Absolutely. It is a disease entity. We've started to talk about it that way.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Narula. Appreciate it.
It's time now for our play of the day, and it is Beyonce, officially kicking off her Cowboy Carter tour. And Larry's here with all the details.
Yeah, a lot of details because that show was jam-packed. To quote Beyonce's song Texas Hold'em, it was a real-life boogie and a real-life hoedown. Last night in L.A., Queen Bee opening the show with the first track on her Grammy-winning album, American Requiem, decked out, all white, cowboy ensemble. The show, nearly 3 hours long, jammed with 39 songs. It was a family affair, too, guys. 13-year-old Blue Ivy joining mom on stage as a backup dancer. Also, 7-year-old, her little 7-year-old girl came out for a sweet little moment, big hug and a kiss from mama. And for her second to last song, Beyonce soared, check this out, soared above the crowd in a car performing 16 carriages. Look at her. I mean, what a show. No one does it like Bee. She soared above the crowd, closing out the show with the last song on Cowboy Carter, by the way. Amen.
Amen.
Beyonce will play 4 more nights at SoFi before heading to Chicago. And then right here in the New York area, she'll be in Jersey next month. I would love to go see that.
A lot of staffers,
yeah,
a lot of staffers have a ticket, yeah. All right. All right. Coming up, Jamie Oliver. Always great when he's here with us in Times Square.
Means we get to eat.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. More than 50 million Americans in the storm zone.
Look at that tornado.
After 2 tornadoes, golf ball-sized hail in Oklahoma.
All right, we're in it.
Ginger tracking the threat, stretching across at least 14 states.
Plead for help. This morning, the retired coal miners sounding the alarm. All who say they have black lung disease, and most of whom voted for the president. Now, their concerns 100 days into Trump's second term. Recession-proof your life. How young women are hacking their budgets and saving thousands of dollars from DIY beauty.
We're doing a lash lift and tint at home.
To ordering in, to shopping, and why their spending habits could mean trouble ahead.
Marvel's new team of superheroes.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Celebrating their world premiere. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, and David Harbour.
It's been ours for so long. Now I want it to be yours.
What they're telling us about the film this morning. And celebrity chef Jamie Oliver is back.
Look at that ooze, George. You know you're feeling that ooze.
Cooking up a lesson for all of us, including 3 aspiring teenage chefs. And he's saying,
Good morning, America!
Live from Times Square, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
Jamie Oliver breaking in some new chefs right there. We always eat well when he is here.
That's true.
That is the truth. You know, Lori Bergamotto, she is here as well. She's tackling the upsides of hard side and soft side luggage with some top choices to check out. To check those things out. You know, we travel quite a bit.
Sure.
And we have these paddles here. So a little quiz, little survey here. Which do you prefer, hard side or soft side? Really?
Oh, wow.
You're the odd one out.
You like soft side?
Oh, definitely. Squish everything in.
Yeah, thank you. Hard side, you're constricted. Like wearing a metal suit. Who wants to do that? You need a little more room.
I guess I'm outvoted. All right, I guess it's school.
It's not that serious anyway, Robin.
All right, but I do. Well, I should say I like hard side when I'm checking, soft side when I'm.
I'll do anything not to check.
Yeah, okay. Right. I'm trying to have it both ways. Hey, here's a look at the top stories breaking at 8, starting with the more than 50 million Americans in the storm zone. Let's go back to Ginger in Minneapolis, tracking the tornadoes and flash flood threats. Good morning again, Ginger.
Hey, good morning, Robin. Breezy and cool behind that cold front here in the Twin Cities, which remained unscathed. Thankful that they had some clouds and some rain yesterday that kind of stabilized the atmosphere. But south of us, by about an hour, that's Faribault, Minnesota, where you see the damage from easily 70-plus mile per hour winds, if not a tornado. They'll get out and do a damage survey, I'm sure, today to make sure. But a lot of that tornado action was rain-wrapped, and there were about 100 severe storm reports, including some big hail. This morning, we're going right back into it. Oklahoma City woke up with the storms, and now they're moving through eastern Oklahoma into, say, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Joplin, Missouri, all in a severe thunderstorm watch for the next couple of hours. But then the cold front's going to do its job, and it looks like damaging wind for Ohio, parts of Kentucky, over into western Pennsylvania and New York. Big hail possible back in Oklahoma and Texas, but also flash flooding. They have had super saturated last week or so along the Red River Valley. So if you add 3 to 7 inches of rain, you will have a significant flash flood event. So that's what we're worried about going into tonight, guys.
Okay, Ginger, thanks. We're going to go to Paris now, where the Kim Kardashian jewelry heist trial officially began yesterday. 10 suspects accused of tying up the reality TV star robbing millions of dollars in jewelry in 2016. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is back with that story. Good morning, Aaron.
And good morning again, George. Half of those 10 defendants are on trial accused of staging the robbery. The rest allegedly played supporting roles, but all 10 are charged with being part of an organized criminal gang that stole millions of dollars worth of jewelry from Kardashian during Paris Fashion Week 2016. In court, the accused confirmed their identities. They're all between 68 and 71, so were nicknamed the Grandpa Robbers, though that's not to suggest there was anything benign about this. Prosecutors said the thieves, dressed as police officers, forced the concierge to take them to Kardashian's suite in the luxury hotel where she was staying. She was alone in the bedroom, wearing nothing but a bathrobe, when the armed robbers tied her up, gagged her with tape, put her into a bathtub while they grabbed the jewels, including her $4 million engagement ring from Kanye West. Kardashian has said she thought she would be shot. She told investigators, "I knew I was going to die." And she's going to testify about all this later in the trial, which is being overseen by 3 judges and 6 jurors, guys.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much for that. We're going to turn now to an alarming resurgence of a condition known as black lung, affecting younger coal miners, just as recent firings have hit federal health regulators. Jay O'Brien is in Washington for us with more. Good morning, Jay.
Michael, good morning. We traveled to coal country, what miners proudly told us was also Trump country, just as the Trump administration promises a coal comeback, but is halting some health programs for miners.
This morning, 100 days into President Trump's second term, and these 8 retired miners, all who say they have black lung disease, and most of whom voted for the president, now with a plea for help.
There is no block of coal worth any man's life or woman's.
Many here concerned after 10,000 recent firings at the Department of Health and Human Services virtually eliminated the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, or NIOSH, tasked with protecting miners from black lung. And the enforcement of a new federal rule cracking down on dangerous rock dust directly tied to the disease also now paused.
We're going to put the miners back to work.
After his promise of a coal comeback, John Robinson voted for Trump and has faith he'll change course.
I think things are
He's going to bring those
yes,
services
yes, I
back.
do.
Yeah. What happens if he doesn't?
I messed up.
Vital free x-rays and protections for sick miners now abruptly halted, even as doctors in Appalachia are finding black lung is making a brutal resurgence, impacting younger and younger miners.
This guy is 30 years old. This guy's already passed away. If you had President Trump sitting here, what would you say to him?
You know, I would say that I understand cutting waste in government, but this is not something to cut. This is essential for the health and well-being of the people that helped elect you.
At this West Virginia dining room table, we found former NIOSH employees now mounting a last-minute pressure campaign to save their agency. And they say the lives of the miners it protects.
If there was a miner sitting here, what would you say to them about what this is going to look like for them going forward?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry for their families.
In a statement to ABC News, the Department of Health and Human Services said NIOSH and its black lung programs will become part of Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s new Administration for a Healthy America, or AHA. But those critical doctors and employees are all still laid off this morning, and no response from HHS on how or when that work could resume without them.
So they said nothing about the funding for it?
They say, George, that it will be allocated into HHS's overall budget. But again, they've laid off individuals who have decades of experience here, and it's unclear how they could jumpstart this work again, even without those folks.
Yeah, I know. And I know you got to stay on this, Jay. Thank you so much for your reporting. Really makes a difference. Coming up on our GMA morning menu, how young women are hacking their budgets as fears of a recession grow.
Also, Luke Bryan made the wishes of 2 young American Idol fans come true for Disney Wish Week.
Plus, all the fun from the Thunderbolts premiere with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, David Harbour, and Sebastian Stan. That's coming up in Pop News. And Lara's with a great friend of GMA. Hey, Lara.
Michael, you know we love guests who come to cook for us, so Jamie Oliver is a huge favorite here. And today he's also telling us about a great program he's launching, teaching kids to make healthy meals. It's coming up right here on Good Morning America.
Dr. Fraser Crane, and before that, Cheers, Kelsey Grammer, adored by millions, but beneath his soaring success, battling alcohol, cocaine, and unbearable family memories.
As we go back through this odyssey, you tell me if it's something you want to tell or if it's too hard.
Now, sharing the story of his beloved younger sister who was brutally murdered.
I had horrors in my mind that were craving the truth.
The Diane Sawyer interview, GMA Friday.
Welcome back to GMA. We are looking forward to Diane joining us with her interview with Kelsey Grammer coming up this Friday. We're looking forward to it then.
Yeah, it looks very emotional. It does. But now our GMA cover story, recession-proofing your life. According to the latest polls, a majority of Americans believe current White House policies are pushing us toward a recession. So young women are taking steps to prepare. Rebecca Jarvis is here with more on this story that we first saw in the Wall Street Journal. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Robin. And we can never know for certain what the future holds, but being prepared for a rainy day, for great uncertainty, is always a good idea. And this is how some young women are embracing that right now.
As recession fears grow and consumer sentiment falls, many young women are hacking their budgets and saving thousands in the process.
Things that maybe people used to spend money on, now they can't afford, and they're looking for a more affordable option, whether it's at home or just something cheaper.
Content creator Mila J has built a platform helping people with DIY beauty tips.
We're doing a lash lift and tint at home.
Something she started during COVID, but has recently surged in popularity with older videos going viral overnight.
I'm just sectioning off the front pieces of my hair.
Her savings estimate? Over $5,000 a year doing at-home beauty maintenance, including hair color, nails, eyebrows, and lashes.
This is recent, as of like the past 2 weeks. Women coming back to my videos saying, oh my gosh, I've tried your nail video, your tanning video, your eyelash video. Like, I've saved so much money. Like, thank you.
Searches for DIY beauty products have surged 150% in the last 2 months. And experts say women under 35 are a leading indicator of spending trends.
Women essentially are chief budget officers of their American households. And historically, they do adjust their spending faster when the economy gets shaky, well before it shows up in the headlines.
By one estimate, the tariff policies could cost Americans $2,600 more a year per person.
I feel a lot of anxiety, and things are just becoming more and more expensive, and our salaries are not matching that.
Nurse practitioner Stephanie Ume has been adjusting her lifestyle to cut spending.
I rarely take Ubers now. I try to limit eating out. And if I do eat out, it's only going to restaurants, not ordering in.
The self-proclaimed shopaholic also cutting back on retail, a category that could see major price spikes due to tariffs.
I love to shop and I just love to spend money. And the fact that I'm not can really attest to how the economy is going.
It's about value, and consumers are doing the math on what's worth it, and they're making hard decisions around trade-offs.
Yep, as for those trade-offs, you got to really think them through. Take stock of your spending, see where you can make some of those cuts right now, either a little bit or entirely. And if you're going to try some of those DIY beauty tips that Mila told us about, it can take a little bit of trial and error, and the savings become worth it over time. And I know I emphasize this a lot, but where you put those savings, that emergency savings fund, it can really change the math for you. High-yield savings accounts, CDs, that is where you're going to get paid the most in an FDIC-backed bank, guys.
That's where it should be right now.
Yes.
Now, all right, Rebecca, as always, thank you. And let's see a little pop news now with Lara.
You got it. Good morning to you all. We're going to begin with a big storm coming in the way of Marvel's Thunderbolts, striking theaters this Friday. And the cast of the new anti-superhero movie, first of all, they're amazing, but they all hit the red carpet for the world premiere in Los Angeles on Monday night. The stars, Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Sebastian Stan, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Wyatt Russell, all on hand, and they had a busy night as well. They stopped by Jimmy Kimmel Live and shared with the crowd how much fun they had making this movie. Florence also sharing that she fought hard to be allowed to do her stunts, specifically one insane stunt where she jumps off the second tallest building in the world. You can see it there briefly in the trailer. Here's what she had to say about it.
It was written in the script originally, and I thought, that's so cool that they are going to let me do that. And then when it was taken away, I was like, you can't deprive me of something mad like that. And then I became the most annoying person on emails.
It worked. Pugh says she's a fan of heights. Wow. The scene was, and yeah,
No way.
she wanted to do it. Scene originally taken out because of insurance. She said she invoked Tom Cruise to get it back in the script. And tomorrow we've got some of the cast with us, guys. And then the movie opens everywhere this Friday.
That is commitment. Insurance says we're not going to do it, and she says I'm going to do it anyway?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe she's self-insured.
There you go. A lot of buzz around that movie, though. Really looking forward to it. And also movie news this morning, Brad Pitt set to team up with Conclave director Edward Berger on a new film, an adaptation of Tim Winton's novel The Riders, which tells the story of a man who moves his family to Ireland and ends up on a search for his missing wife. Ridley Scott will produce. Production's set to start early next year. And if you can't wait to see Pitt, he will be racing to the big screen before then, starring in F1, playing a retired Formula One driver turned mentor. It hits theaters nationwide on June 27th.
Can't
and
wait
again,
for that.
a lot of buzz around
So
that
ready
one,
for
I
that
know.
one.
Yeah. So also, check out this video from Florida. I just had to show this to you. Doug Hay jumping into a lake that's known for being a favorite of local alligators to save an injured bald eagle from drowning. He was able to get the eagle to safety. He swam next to it. He was hoping it would fly off once they got to shore. It did not. Looks like his wing is severely injured there. Doug contacted wildlife officials to help, and they sure did. The Wildlife Center of Southwest Florida in Venice is now caring for the eagle, who they say is recovering, and we sure hope he or she is okay. Yeah. A really nice video, great story. Yep.
Thank you, Larry.
There you have it. I'm on the beat.
Travel season is in full swing, and many of us will be faced with the question, not where to go, but should we go with hard shell or soft shell luggage? Laura Bergamato is here with some answers for us. And Lloyd, this kind of divides the internet because people, hard shell, soft shell, we saw Robin and George and I disagree. But what are the pros and cons of a hard shell? What are the pros and cons of hard shell, soft shell?
Oh, wait, let's see what the control room. What does that? Looks like more hard side to me in there, right? Yeah. Okay, so Michael, you know, a hard side luggage is known for protecting things a little bit better, has superior protection, durability, but soft shell luggage, soft side luggage, is known for being lightweight, expandable, and easier to pack. Now, I think a lot of people here were surprised to know, what do you think is actually more popular when you look at everybody buying luggage across the country?
Soft shell.
Yes, how did you know that?
Because I'm smart.
So soft side luggage actually has 62% of the market share there.
Well, tell us about this. Tell us what we got here.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
62%,
Travel Pro,
okay.
62%. This is from Travel Pro, best in class. Now, one of the complaints that people have about soft side is they're like, oh, it's not going to, resist stains and damage, but this one does. It's water repellent, resists stains. It also has 2 different expandable heights here. So if you're my size, or if you're taller like Michael Strahan, it can go even higher. This is really lightweight. Go ahead and pick that up.
Gary. This is
I knew it.
Gary's
I knew Gary was going to get thrown under the bus here. But look how smooth those glide, and it's super lightweight at under 7 pounds.
I like that.
Another soft side option from Calpac.
But what's cool with this one, though, is laptops and computers and all this stuff.
Yes, you can fit it right in there.
iPads.
And the Luca duffel is a GMA favorite. Everybody here loves the Luca. Feel that. It's like nice and puffy, right? So it's really cool. We've had this on the right stuff before. Calpac is an industry leader in that space, in that luggage space. And it's great. It's soft side, but it does give you that extra layer of durability there. And it has those smooth 360-degree wheels. So this is great. And there's a special discount for Mother's Day on that. So you're going to want to get one for you and your mama.
Oh, yes. And I love the wheels. Just spin them around.
I know. It's so
fun. Okay. Now, hard side.
Yes. This is really interesting. I think you're going to really like this. This is from Solgaard. It actually won Time's Best Travel Inventions of the Year. The founder, Adrian Solgaard, was always on the road, and he made what's called the carry-on closet. You can see it expanded right next to you, Michael. And it's yes. So basically, it's 5 compressible shelves that you pack, right? Then you can fit them all in here. So this is how it starts. Ta-da! And then that's how it finishes. You put it in, close it up. When you arrive at your destination, you can just take it out, pop it in the closet. You're packed, you're unpacked.
You don't have to take it out, put it in drawers.
No. And this is fantastic. It's super durable. This has like 3,000 5-star reviews. Everybody was really excited about that one from Solgaard.
All right.
And then Away. This is a bestseller, has over 13,000 5-star reviews.
Yes, but you got to have Away. Robin has Away.
Yeah. Robin has Away. Yeah, Robin, you're very popular. You're with the people there because everybody loves this. And this is the most Instagrammable one, I would say. Like, everybody sees this and like, ooh, that's sleek. That looks good. And you guys, not only does it look good, it's super durable, has that polycarbonate. It's really fantastic, and it fits more than your eyes can see here. Like, it's very deceiving.
Yeah, that's what my kids have when they went to college. They got Away luggage.
They're cool.
With their
Your girls are cool.
Making it special.
Excuse us. Very fancy. Okay, and finally, we couldn't do a luggage segment without talking about what has been a Good Morning America Right Stuff bestseller. This is from Zimtown at Walmart. And these are all nesting, so if you have a small space, you can store them easily. They are so highly reviewed, and what everybody loves about these is it's $80 for all 3. So it's an incredible deal. It looks so sleek, it fits so much, and it's great if you have a family because you get 3 pieces of luggage for $80. You're not going to find a better value than that, my friend.
All right, hey, Lara, pick up that paddle guy. I'm going to ask you and Robert a question. Did it change your mind about which one you like, hard side, soft side?
I really love the one that you can, like, it goes right to the closet. That's so wonderful.
So you both like the hard side luggage? Okay.
I'm converted to hard
soft side. All right, Lori Bergabato, great job as always. Now we can travel. And coming up, our guy, Chef Jamie Oliver, is here, going back to basics, sharing cooking lessons everyone should know.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
We are back with Disney's Week of Wishes to honor a 45-year partnership with Make-A-Wish. We'll repass the story. Hey, Will.
Hey there, George. Today is World Wish Day, and to celebrate, American Idol's Luke Bryan made 2 young fans' wishes come true. Take a look.
The American Idol stage is where dreams come true.
And you are the new American Idol!
But before the show Monday night, dreams came true behind the scenes for 9-year-old Adira.
Hello!
And 10-year-old Brantley.
That's crazy.
After recovering from medical challenges, the 2 getting private backstage access, meeting this year's contestants and walking the blue carpet, before meeting country superstar and American Idol judge Luke Bryan, partnering with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Adira's wish to meet Luke Bryan has been granted. Yeah! I'm pretty excited about it because he's my favorite singer and I know a lot of his songs. I've always liked him my whole life.
Friday nights need to do what Friday.
When I was littler, I would sing a lot of Luke Bryan songs.
Girl, you make my speakers go boom, boom.
So I'm backstage at American Idol, and we have 2 Make-A-Wish kids here. I'm ready to meet them, and y'all come along. What's up? How are y'all? Am I shorter or taller than you thought?
Taller.
Good. Y'all excited to see the show tonight?
Yeah.
You want to sneak backstage a little bit?
Yeah.
See, they have the contestants' names right there. And here are a lot of the contestants coming out. So Lionel stands here.
Ah.
Carrie stands there, and I stand there. And then, so here, y'all can stand there like, will you be Lionel? Because you got curly hair like Lionel. All right, and so this is how we stand.
Yeah.
And these walls come open.
Yeah.
And then everybody starts screaming. I don't know if I've ever had kids back here. I hope I don't get in trouble.
Best day ever!
Best day ever indeed. We love Luke Bryan. Those were Luke's 58th and 59th wishes granted, and Disney fulfills a wish every hour of every day. The world's leading Make-A-Wish partner. And if you're interested in getting involved in Make-A-Wish, visit wish.org/Disney or go to our website to learn more. What a day, guys, with Luke
So
Bryan.
many special moments there. Okay, Will, thanks very much. Let's go to Lara.
All right, thank you, George. And I'm here with one of our very favorite guests, chef and cookbook author, Jamie Oliver, everyone. So happy you came to see us. He's launching his Ministry of Food's 10 Skills food education platform here in the U.S. He's also featured on the new season of Chef's Table Legends because of the influence he's had as a chef and child health advocate. You've done such great work.
Thank you very
Good Morning
much.
America.
This is a little gift from me to America. This is a free set of recipes which teachers can use in schools across America for free. After school clubs, Girls and Boys Club of America, and we've just grabbed some children off the streets, and look what we got here.
I love it. But I just wanted to just say the program is called 10 Skills.
Yes.
And what made you decide to do this? Something personal, or I know this has been something near and dear to your heart.
If you think about what's hurting Britain and America, it's our inability, it's health, diet-related disease. So if I had a dream, it would be that every 16-year-old American child could leave school knowing recipes that could save their life. So these are 10 principal recipes that can save their life. The art of shopping and budgeting, knowing about nutrition. It's really simple, it's really fun. And we've tested it in the UK. We've got 500 schools doing it. We did a test in America, in LA, last year, and now we're launching it across the whole country.
Here we go.
Very exciting.
And it smells delicious.
Bless you. So
we're gonna meet our aspiring teenage chefs over here. We have Fiona and Michelangelo from the Urban Assembly Maker Academy and Alexa from the Sylvia Center here in New York City. And I'm Jamie. What are we gonna start? What are we cooking, man? What's the lesson here?
So we've got 10 skills, right? We're going to basically take it down to salads, right? So everyone thinks salads are boring. The first principle, guys, if you can hold your dressing up, instead of buying dressings, which are very expensive, it's 3 parts olive oil to 1 part acid. Now that acid could be lemon juice, it could be vinegar. Into there, we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And if you look to my right, we've got a lemon juice dressing here. Give that a shake for me. There we've got a yogurt-based dressing there on our next young man here. We've got a yogurt-based dressing, and then at the end we've got a balsamic-based dressing. So what we're going to do is put that into a jam jar. Shake it up. It's cheaper to make your own, more nutritious to make your own. And then we can make the good stuff really, really tasty. Now, the chopped salad is an American classic, but the idea is that you can go into your fridge. You can basically, and look, this method of chopping, there's no hands in the way. It's very, very safe. But you can basically take leftovers, bits and pieces. And what I say in our principles is if you have a veggie element, a salad element, like a carb element, a fruit element, you can have dried fruit, fresh fruit, whatever you got, and a little dairy, then every salad you ever make will be utterly delicious. If you want to up the nutrition, you can go into seeds and nuts and things like that. So we just chop
even that just looks good when you do it.
Absolutely. Now, guys, if you want to dress your salads now, we'll take that dressing. So from that same principle, 3-to-1 with seasoning, we can then put that dressing over the chopped salad. We can dress it, and there's no reason why you can't make salads delicious. And when we've done when taken over food in schools in America and the UK, we have big salad bars, and they absolutely love it. We do loads of dressing, so it's all about the dressing.
And I love that kids are loving salad.
Exactly. And I got to ask Fiona, what's the first thing you learned to cook?
Probably scrambled eggs, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
It's easy, simple.
Easy and healthy. It's a great one.
Yeah.
We've got another recipe that's in your principles, and that's I call it spaghetti pomodoro.
Absolutely.
It's just a basic classic tomato spaghetti.
Look, you don't need to buy pre-made sauces. It's more expensive. You can make it yourself. You can make this sauce in like 2 minutes. So we have a little olive oil in a pan. We have a little garlic going in. We take some tinned tomatoes. This is cheap food. It's nutritious. We go in. We fry it off. Now, this is a basic tomato sauce. Everyone's going to go, so what? No big deal, right? What we can do is we use that Principal delicious sauce that all of my kids love. You can use it on pasta. You can use it on pizza. You can use it in so many ways. You can make soups and sauces out of it. But what we can do, think of it like a family tree. So here I've got a little plate of things, again, that you might find. Now, from like tuna to anchovies, you could take olives in there. You could have leftover chicken. You could take a little chili. But basically, that Principal tomato sauce recipe can basically be manipulated in many ways. So there's not one recipe, there's hundreds of recipes. Now, once you've fried off that garlic, you simply go in with the tomatoes like that, bring it to the boil, and you can make a whole bunch of derivative sauces. We'll season that with a little salt and pepper. We'll always use fresh herbs if we can. And I love growing herbs, even when I was a young kid. Herbs make the world go round. And, you know, I love that. Go in with some pasta, any pasta you want. But, guys, what I'm trying to say with 10 lessons is if you're a parent watching this or a kid...
Let's mix that pasta in there. Let's
go. If you're a teacher, let's get tossing the pasta, guys. If you're a teacher and you want to do this with your kids at school, everything's free. The whole thing is free.
Wow.
We've got videos, lessons, tutorials, pictures, and basically, give your pasta a little toss, guys. Come on, let's style it up. Style it up.
All right, now you got it.
Looking good, guys.
But when it's done, you got to top it, right? Grated Parmesan. And,
yeah, we're going to get some nice. Take that pasta to the bowl.
Okay.
And the point I'm trying to say is you can make many, many dishes out of one principle.
Yep.
And food can be joyful. It can be fun. And I think what I'm trying to do is get people to save money.
Yeah.
Increase their nutrition.
Which is
but more important, bring people together. Bring families together, communities together, kids together.
Yep.
I want kids to know where food comes from and how it affects their body.
I love cooking.
All right, grated parm. Got some grated parm we're going to put on there. And Michelangelo, what do you think? Pretty easy?
It's very easy, honestly. Because like anyone can make it. I mean, if you're at home and you make something real quick, then this is your go-to, you know?
So great.
You think it's something you make at home?
Definitely, yeah, with my family.
I love it. Cook it for the family. That's right.
Better than Uber or Eats or calling. I love that you guys are doing it yourself and learning, and it's all thanks to you, Jamie Oliver. This is a great idea. Thanks for bringing it to the US.
Thank you, guys.
It's free.
It is free.
Skills.
And guys, you can get all of Jamie's recipes on GoodMorningAmerica.com. You can see him on Chef's Table, Legends, appropriately named, streaming right now on Netflix. Thanks, James. Thank you, guys.
Now, with a new series that I'm so proud to be a part of. It's called Murder Has Two Faces. Here's the trailer.
When you say Laci Peterson, it's a name that everybody knows.
The FBI is investigating the mysterious disappearance of a pregnant woman.
How can any man kill his pregnant wife?
Her husband is coming under increasing scrutiny in the wake of charges he was having an affair.
It looks like something straight out of Hollywood.
But when you say the name Evelyn Hernandez, very few people remember the case.
Both women were 8 months pregnant. Both bodies were found in the water.
They had hoped to find any connection between the two cases. This could be a copycat case.
It was eerie.
With Laci Peterson, we saw this idea of the all-American girl next door.
The media was obsessed with it. It was all over the news.
Laci
Peterson.
Laci's disappearance was like reliving everything all over again.
Time was running out.
They found a body.
Both stories should be known.
What happens with stories like Chandra Levy's, it sends shockwaves of fear into the community.
The Chandra Levy case took us back instantly to Joyce.
Their stories were very parallel, but Joyce wasn't on the news 24/7.
I want to put my faith in the police, but I just went cold.
Is there something going on here?
The Craigslist killer and the tagged killer. They're eerily similar. With Craigslist becoming so popular, this story dominated headlines. You would have think these cases would get the same type of attention, and they don't.
Were you getting any information from the police? Nothing.
You had to have sizzle to make the evening news.
It's beginning to look like the work of a serial killer.
You just need to keep beating the drum to keep Joyce's story alive.
You can't give up hope. All those years, you and countless others who wouldn't give up.
Never give up.
What's that one piece of information that's going to open up the case?
The connections just started to appear. And all of a sudden, the alarm bells went off.
Evidence doesn't lie.
Why aren't we paying attention?
Murder has two faces. Only on Hulu.
And my ABC News unit partnered with two-time Emmy Award-winning producer and director Lisa Cortez on this project.
How did you become involved?
Oh, boy. I got to tell you, it's, being in the news business, if you're going to be really honest, as many people are, you looked at how there were certain stories that the news would focus on, and those that didn't get the attention that it deserves. And it's not either or. It's not either Lacey Peterson or Evelyn Hernandez. It's and. It's not either, Chandra or Joyce. It's and. And there's so many families who are who are raising their hands and just saying, you know what, we deserve justice. Our loved one was taken from us. We just want the same search for the justice. Even Gabby Petito's family,
right.
Yeah. Who she was on that cross country, and her family is standing up and saying, this is not right. Why did our daughter get all this attention? And there are other similar cases. It shouldn't matter what you look like. That you don't get the attention that you are deserving to try and bring justice to your family.
3 parts starts next Tuesday?
3 parts starts next Tuesday, May 6th on Hulu. Yeah.
Looks great.
Thank you.
We're in training. We are counting down to our GMA 5K. Checking in with Robin, of course, and with Wisconsin Grandma Kim Meller to see how her training is going for her very first 5K.
She's got it.
All right, we're back now getting pumped for the GMA 5K. It's just 2 weeks away now. Check out this gear. You can scan the QR code on your screen to get this and much more to get you GMA 5K ready. We want to check back in with someone who's really excited to hit the pavement with us. Kim Meller from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, has been on a 6-week training plan for her first ever 5K. Good morning to you, Kim.
Good morning, Lara.
I'm so happy to see you. And you were so nice to let us in on this from day one when you started your training. Share with us the reaction that you've gotten around town as you continue your training.
I was a little surprised. One day I was at the gas station and actually 2 people came up to me and said, hey, weren't you on Good Morning America? And I was like, what? Oh, yes, I was. It just caught me off guard. And then other people seem to be hearing about it and know about it. And it's just kind of fun.
That's great. And spread the word, because everyone is invited to join us on this. Because it's not, as you've learned firsthand, it's not only about getting healthier, it's also kind of fun, isn't it?
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's fun. You get to go outside and experience spring in Wisconsin, which going to show up pretty soon, and meet people along the way, and people join you, and it's just being outdoors and having fun.
That's great. Share with us your training. How's it going?
Training. So we were doing really well, and then all of a sudden, my right knee decided to go against me, and we've got a little bursitis going on, but it's being treated, and I'm doing the things that the doctor recommends. And we're still planning to at least run and walk now. But, it was disappointing to hear the news, but I'm still grateful to be able to, walk and do that much of it. So we're just going to make the most of it, and I'll do what I can.
That's a great attitude, Kim. And I know you've told us that your kids were a real inspiration for you to get up, get going. Tell us a little bit more about their influence on you. How have they been during this?
Oh, they've been so supportive and just so happy that I'm out and doing this, and we're having a good time together. We've done some walking in Minneapolis and had our grandson along. I've done some training with my new daughter-in-law. She's working on a different 5K, maybe for a 10K, I'm not sure. And just family time, and we're together.
That's great. Get together, you're outside, you're getting healthy, and we're wishing you all the best with your knee. I love your attitude. We know we'll see you out there, whether you're running or walking. We really appreciate you jumping on board. Thank you, Kim.
Before we go, a big congratulations to ABC News video journalist Melissa Young, retiring after 44 years. Our Mary Beer says Melissa defines trailblazer, one of the few women camera operators on the beat. She has mentored and supported so many. She plans to travel, rest, spend time with the kiddies.
She is.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa. Thanks, guys.